outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Quinn, and for today's video we're gonna try to DIY some resin coasters. It's gonna be my first time using resin anything. I've been meaning to try to use resin to make DIY pieces. You can literally make anything with resin. It's basically liquid plastic and it hardens up to become plastic. So yeah, you can basically make whatever you want with it. I'm like sweating because it's 90 degrees in Chicago and I'm in my garage. And the reason I'm in my garage because when you're using resin, you have to be in a ventilated area and you have to also wear like what is it called, like a respirator mask, which I do have, but I wanted to also be in a ventilated room. I don't want to trap all the resin epoxy, I think that's what it's called, in my house. I will also be sharing with you how I dry up the fruit slices to put them inside the coasters. So if you guys are interested in all of this, then come along and let's make some coasters. First thing you will need is a respirator mask, and it's very important that you use a respirator when working with epoxy resin because the smell is really toxic. So just make sure you have a respirator mask just to be safe and is in a ventilated room. So next I have these coasters molds. I got these on Amazon and they come in 4 different shapes and sizes and I really like their shapes. They're kind of big coasters, so I like that. And then I also will be putting in some gold flakes. And then the most important thing that you will need are obviously resin and hardener. So I bought this kit and it comes with 4 mixer cup and a bunch of like mixing sticks. Oh, and it also comes in like these iridescent flakes. Oh, that's pretty cool. I will link everything down below if you guys want to use the same kit. The kit also came with gloves, so I'm also going to be using some gloves. You want to first put on your respirator mask and then pour in your resin. It's gonna be about 1:1 ratio. So this is the resin. I think here I pour in about 20 millimeters to 30 millimeters, and you can see the measurements on the cup. And then next step, I'm using the hardener, and I'm going to pour the exact same amount of hardener as the amount of resin that I just poured inside the cup, and then mixing it together slowly. And mix it very, very well so then the hardener and the resin can be blended together. I'm not using a lot of resin here because this is going to be the first layer of our coasters. I'm going to be using some chopsticks to pick up the gold flakes and then adding into the resin. I find this really helpful because it's not sticking to your hands. Mixing it, blending it together. I'm having a lot of fun doing this voiceover. So I'm just mixing it slowly, making sure it's evenly distributed among the resin. And then taking it, pouring the resin into the mold. Ooh, that looks so pretty. Yeah, so you're gonna pour a thin layer of resin into the mold. Now I'm gonna take my cute little perfect slice of orange and putting it right into the middle, pressing it down, making sure it's, it's inside the resin. There's no air bubbles, so I'm like kind of pushing it down and I'm pouring the rest of the resins on top, and then we wait for 2 hours. And if you're thinking, Quinn, why are we doing this in 2 layers? Why can we pour all the resins and fill the coasters up all the way to the top and then be done with it? Here's why. This is my first resin. I only used 1 pour. I put the orange piece in there and then I filled it all the way to the top. And then you can see that when it's hardened, the orange slice is like peeping up to the top and it's not smooth. I figured out a process where the orange slice sits right in the middle, like it's floating, and it's very pretty and cool. But first, I'm going to show you how I dry up the orange slices. Okay, so this is how you're going to make the orange slices. Step 1, cut the orange in the middle because that's the biggest piece. Whatever your preference is, but mine is to have the biggest orange slice right in the middle of my coaster. So I'm gonna cut it right in the middle. And then you wanna make sure that you're cutting it super thin. Step 2, pop it into your air fryer. Well, that's what I'm doing. You can pop it into your oven, but my air fryer is kind of like a mini oven, so I'm gonna put it in here. So if you don't have that, you can just put it in the oven at 170 Fahrenheit. So this is what it kind of looks like now that it's dried. Okay, so it's been like 2 hours, and you see how like the orange slice is floating to the top a little bit, like it's not flat underneath the resin. So that's why I did the first layer. Now I'm just gonna pour a clear layer on top so that we can seal this. The coaster is just gonna be smooth and flat. And I'm only going to pour on clear resin so then it's all smooth. Here I'm mixing a new batch of just clear resin with no gold foil. And then I'm stirring it, mixing it well, pouring it on top to top off my coaster piece. Also, you want to make sure your table is leveled, and you can use the app on your iPhone called Measure. Click the level option within the Measure app and then place it on the table to make sure it's flat. If it's not flat, then your coaster is going to turn out slanted. It's the next day. Look how beautiful the coaster looks from here. I'm peeling off the mold and then I'm going to pop this right off. Look at the surface. Look how smooth the top off of that coaster is. It's so smooth and beautiful. This is just the perfect way to end the summer. This coaster is so freaking beautiful. I love it so much. What do you think? Okay, now side profile check. Look at the orange slice. It's like right in the middle, like floating just perfectly in the middle. It's so beautiful, and that's why we do 2 layers. So the bottom side, which is the top side, you see a little bubble here, but it's a very cool big bubble that looks like it's water, so it's so pretty.
Like winter waiting for June. I'm done and waiting for you, waiting for you. Baby, I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like my coaster. Comment down below and let me know if there's anything else you think I should try doing with resin. And like this video if you think the coaster is so pretty. Don't forget to subscribe and click the post notification to get notified when I post next. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!